Welcome, JDs and Lentilmen, on this half an hour long journey on getting a red star on a virtual tank in a game that no one really is bothered or cares about. However, it might be fun to watch. So don't be scared to maybe cut this video in half for yourself and watch 15 minutes now and 15 minutes at a later date. Or if you do decide to go and sit there and watch the full 30 minutes in one go, do not forget to grab yourself a drink and maybe some food, a sandwich or popcorn, because this is gonna be a long ride with a V4. Very long. And what better place to start than the ever-burning, even in real life at the moment, I love protests, Paris. Paris that I have pretty much a hate-hate relationship with. Even if I have a good game, I don't enjoy the map. But that is fine, because we're in a V4, we can be incredibly aggressive, and if people don't exactly know where to shoot this tank, they just simply will not go through my armor. And even tier 10 tanks will have trouble going through my armor. So the projector that was shooting at us earlier, no point, because he just wasn't going to go through that fat sheet metal that is supposed to make up this tank. The E75 as a stock gun will not be able to kill me. I'm wondering why I'm not actually ramming this progetto. Actually, I know why, because the SU will shoot me in the side, and then I decide I don't care. If he shoots me in the side, so be it. We find ourselves a lone IS-7 cuddling the back of the map. Even though he knows he's going to die, he will still put up a fight, and he will put up a decent fight while slowly being surrounded. He will die, the enemy team will die, we will win this game, and that's a pretty decent start to this video.
Anytime I get a little bit of any kind of chest pain, I'm like, oh, this is it, the big one.
Now, last game, or last video, we got up to 84.13%. And in this video, I will not really get that far up that soon. Even here on Glacier, I think I'm a V4, I don't care. But if you have an enemy like the 257 over there, who's the luckiest man in this entire world, you will see why. The Emil won't be that big of an issue because he has the stuck gun, but that 257 is firing APCR. He's firing exactly where he has to fire, my lower plate and my cupola, and every shot that I put on him so far has just hit the ground in front of him. But his luck is going to run out rather sooner than later, because my first shot has finally penned. My second shot has also penned, and they both died, Emil on the 257, not because of my doing, but whatever. But, I mean, I'm not going to get lucky though, because I first bounced off that 5120. Then I think that WZ's going to drive forward, and he doesn't. I will miss that Hawk 12, and I finally get the pen a shot on this Foch. But I mean, he's a Foch, and he still puns me anyway. So that's pretty cool. No luck for me.
Wake up! Wake up! Run, Russia, put a little makeup! I discussed the fade away the shake up! Why'd you leave the keys up on the...
Huh? Are those SS tickets you have there?
We have driven the entire way along the one line to find no one there. And then we drive over the hill to help our team with the Skoda and the T10. We ram the Skoda T50. And I'm thinking, can I go for the ram on that T10 or do I just fire? And I'm thinking, if I fire and I pen this track and not actually do damage, I'll still ram him to death. So I don't really mind my damage either way. That is a Kranvan or an Emil 2. An Emil 2, sorry, the screen is kind of small. That's an Emil 2. And we're not going to shoot him just once. No. We're going to shoot him twice, because he is so slow driving backwards that we can easily catch up to him. And I decide I can either go after the people on the hill or go after the people camping behind. And I'm going to go after the people camping behind, because that way I'm not being flanked from two sides. Because I will be shot from the people camping here and from the hill if I was to find myself in that little bit of water. That guerrilla will die because of the people behind me. I want to put a big ol' high explosive shot into this Waffenträger. And there it is. I am being shot at by people going up the hill. Which is not that surprising, but what is surprising is my own RT shooting me and hitting me for 457 damage. And maybe I can put one more shot into the motion? Probably not though, because he's dying really fast. Oh no, actually, High explosive. I forgot I had that loaded.
Hey man, look at me rocking out. I'm on the radio. Hey man.
I wish I liked cock, honestly. My life would be so much easier.
Steppes is usually a map where you find yourself corner camping and fighting along either down here or on the other side in the exact same situation in a little bit of very clear blue, highly toxic probably, water, because that looks not natural at all. And it looks in the beginning like the enemy team is going to take this little dip, which means that we're going to have to be fighting on this corner. And then I look on the minimap and everyone is going in. And, I mean, I'm not a pussy, so I don't stay behind. I, in fact, get into the fight. I shoot, I ram, I kill. The Skoda dies, and we have taken the dip now. There's no way the enemy is really going to be taking this from us anymore. There is not even an artillery that could have helped them. And I'm thinking, are we going to go or not? Are we going to go or not? We are going, we are driving, we are constantly attacking. These are the type of games I enjoy in World of Tanks, because you're with such aggression, you can do so much damage and so many kills. It leaves the enemy completely hopeless, and I'm driving here. I keep on killing and driving, and I notice that my team is not really following anymore, and I'm like, guys, are we going? Yes, we are going. We shoot the Progetto on the move and keep on driving towards the T10. If you play a game like this, filled with vim and vigor, you cannot stay behind, because if I stayed behind around the places at STRV, I would have done no damage, I would have gotten no kills, and that would have been terrible for my mark. I tracked the T10, although he repaired. A bit of tracking does come my way. Just a tiny bit though. Actually, does it? No, I got none of it. Oh well. We keep on driving. My team is highly active on this flank. There's only an STRV that's stopping us. But before I can really think about maybe shooting him, I'm thinking, he's dead, never mind. And we keep on driving. There's people camping in their own base. And they've got nothing on us, nothing on this tidal wave of force, of pain, of tanks coming their way. We are winning without having lost a single tank. We are in their base. They are still trying to maybe try and hit the other flank, but we are holding that flank so hard. There is nothing they can do. We put a shot into the 704 and he dies before he gets to reload. Anyway, actually, does he? I can't. Yes, he does. A bit of driving, and we find ourselves an Oho. And I actually kind of want to aim on the Oho, because he has really sneaky armor. And we go after this Mod 1, and this Mod 1 would rather drive out into a lot of enemy tanks than to be shot by me. And like I said, these are the type of games that I really live for, where you can do tons of damage, tons of kills, and you'll win with conviction.
Kneeling roses disappearing into Moses' dry mouth, breaking into part, not stealing our intention.
Sturging, Ferging in the Benzern.
No, but for real, ik ben Nederlands, not Greek. We find ourselves on Live Oaks, not just in the intro, but I've actually played a game on this, and we find ourselves a T30 friend who is having a fantastic game, and he can go back to his garage. We find ourselves a Waffenträger Panzer IV friend who can find his way back to his garage as well. Nothing happens, so we move into the town, find ourselves a 430 who probably forgot or didn't notice we were there, and we find ourselves a new friend to play with, an Object 257. Usually, I'm quite annoyed shooting those tanks because of their highly sloped armor, but in a 268 version 4, you lose your head in the shock that you've gotten by just being shot at by a 650 Alpha tank. We kill the E5, we try and actually get a sneaky shot of into the Type 4, kinda kill steal it because we've done nothing regarding this guy. And then it was time to defend our base. The enemy team took the other flank, and they split up. One side defending the base, one side trying to assault it. We kill the AMX-30, the T-54 lightweight dies, and we move into the middle to maybe shoot this VK. Sadly enough, we only hit his tracks. Our second time getting that kill for 30 damage is worth.
I'm not in a position to save people right now, okay? I'm in my house, in my pajamas.
Back on Abbey, having good memories of Abbey. I feel that maybe possibly if I do the same, I can have a similar result. However, this time, there are two artillery. There's a 268 in the middle, and I've lost already half of my health. I am hugging the side of this wall though, so Artie will not have an easy shot on me. The Type 4 luckily is not using the derp, so I don't lose a lot of health to him. We missed the cupola after 257 and back to hugging this wall so artillery will not splash a huge pile of poop on top of my tank, drowning my crew in feces. Being reloaded, we move out again, shoot the side of the Type 4, and I pull back to hug that wall again because I just don't want Artie to hit me. Eventually I've had enough and I move forward, and then I decide there's more tanks here than I initially thought. And I think here this is how I die. I am so dead. But the 5A actually comes to my rescue. And in my panic, I auto-aimed on the mouse and I hit the rock instead of the side of his tank. However, we do get a second chance, and this time we do not fail and pen his side successfully. But I pull back too far. And remember that? Yeah, that guy was there.
The toxicity of our city. No!
I may not know my flowers, but I know a bitch when I see one!
I remember a time where I actually enjoyed playing on Mountain Pass. That time is long gone. It is so far gone that I cannot remember how long ago that was. Maybe 20, possibly 22 years. There was a Batchet that we shot. There was a Patton that we shot. There's a WOT 40 that we shot successfully in the top of the tank. He is annoying though, because this was the game where I lost my shit once again. Every time I wanted to fire at 140, except for that shot missed, and he penned me with success every single time. That V4 pokes around the corner and just shoots willy-nilly and kills me. I needed a short break after this one though.
There's nothing wrong with me, there's something wrong with you, there's something wrong with me. Some doesn't need the face, so we're crying for our next.
Well, you should care because aliens have autism.
We find ourselves on airport, and I found a position from this spawn in the V4 on airport that is pretty strong. First, you are earlier on the hill than medium tanks in a tank destroyer, which is really fat, so that makes sense. But in this position, your cupola is safe from people going up the hill or camping back there. Your lower plate that is mostly safe from people coming up the hill and camping up there. The only thing that they can hit is your upper plate, and the angle coming up, for them at least, will not be enough to hit it. So that 5A, surprise of his life, it's me with a small package delivered to you. The mouse thinks he's hard enough, but is he really? No, he isn't, but he thinks he's a mouse, so he's still driving forward and he's still going. He's going to lose more health, but you know, he's a mouse. He's one of the strongest heavily armored tank in the game. However, you forgot that I'm a V4. He's lost so much health, he has nothing really to do here anymore. That E3 fired at us earlier and failed for the second time, and I actually pen him in the lower plate. Small shot, easy pen. That Panzer 7, we shoot him in the side, and that I7 has the luck of the Irish, because Wargaming still doesn't really know how to handle their models. From dead tanks, maybe walls, corners, rocks, everything is difficult for them. And at this point, you may have noticed, there's a celebrity in this game. It's Orsanel, who was holding me off there for about 3 minutes, because I only had his cupolas, he was moving too much, and if I moved forward, the Panzer 7 would shoot me in the side. So that was just waiting for my team to finally be successful and do something. We chase after Orsanel, and I don't really mind who I shoot and kill. I just want to win this game. I shoot. Oh, was the 140? I believe it was 140, and don't even kill him. And we don't get the kill on Orsanel because my teammates kill him. The E3 pens me in the side. I can have one more shot on him, but sadly enough, it bounces off his lower plate.
You smell like a ball sack.
We have pretty much hit the halfway mark of this video, so if you do decide now to take a break, then it is a good time to decide to take a break while I fire a high explosive at this E3, because letting him hold down there is annoying. The Badger, by the way, a lot has progressed in this game. I drove around, I saw no one, and then everyone died on both teams. The Badger has decided it is enough that I sit here and do nothing, and he comes to seek for a hug. I, however, am not in the mood for hugs. Actually, I am. Hug for you! Oh, you died? I am so sorry. This shot on the Skoda should have penned. It should have hit. But for some reason, it flew straight through his ass. You want to have a replay? No, you're gonna get it anyway. There, that should have hit and penned. Anyway, the 3090 is driving into our base, but remember that there was artillery in this game? Yeah, I didn't.
Psycho group Pico, get crazy. Psycho group Pico makes you high, makes you really wanna go.
And we're just told that Gagarin dies?
We have found ourselves in the snowy cliffs of Arctic region. You heard me right, Arctic region, because that was the original name of this map. Not Mannerheim line. No. Arctic region. And we find ourselves 3 IS-7. And I'm fairly confident that versus 3 IS-7 I will survive. So I drive forwards and I want to drive around this corner to have fun with the 3 IS-7. And then I find a big old 1050 Alpha gun looking straight at me in the shape of a Jaegeru. Not sure what he's doing there, but I'm just gonna shoot at him and hope that he just goes away so I can have fun with before mentioned IS-7s. And I did get the chance to have fun with the before mentioned IS-7s. I am, however, firing heat because in a full tier 10 game like this, I don't care. I just want that little red star on my barrel, and that's what I'm aiming for. There's a mouse coming down. There's also a Type 5 on his way. There's a lot of tanks here that I'm gonna have to deal with. We killed the first IS-7 because he showed his side, and he done did eat shit and died. Now the mouse is making his way around the corner, and even though I have lots of health and I have lots of armor, I don't really want to just be the guy that has to face hug the mouse. I am, however, going to be the guy that has to face hug the mouse, because everyone in this fight is fighting their own fight. That's a lot of words that has the word fight in them. Fight. I'm fighting the mouse. There's an IS-7 fighting an IS-7. The Panzer 7 is helping the IS-7. There's a Super Conqueror fighting I don't know what up there. And everyone is just having their own fight. Finally, the Panzer 7 decides to help me with the mouse. But it's just taking too long. I should have penned this shot, but it just flew left of his turret. The IS-7, for some reason, decides to have a suicide himself against the mouse. And I'm thinking, can I maybe help my Panzer 7 with his IS-7? And so a Type 5 appears. If anyone could stop having just random tanks appear and shoot me, that would be great. The E-100, all he has to do is fire high explosive into the bottom track of the mouse and he would die, but he doesn't. I decide to help my Panzer 7 with the IS-7 because the mouse just wasn't worth the 30 damage anymore. And now, after we've run out of heat, I'm gonna have to fight the most heavily armored heavy tank in this game, the Type 5. And you know how the cheeks are like angled so they're flat towards me? That's not a pen. I have enough pen to pen that shit, but it just doesn't. Again, his other cheek, no pen. And I was just screaming at this point, how are they not penning? Because I should be easy going through that armor like butter. I finally do hit him in the tracks, which doesn't track him either. I don't know what I have to do to damage this Type 5, and without aiming, he does 700 damage to me because high explosive. Yeah, by the way, this was recorded during the Italian challenge.
No, gross! You made a poo-poo!
I am surprised that artillery hasn't really shot at me so far this entire video. And we find ourselves a 705, who I've tracked. And he actually repairs that. Actually, is he tracked? No, he's not even tracked. He's just waiting there, hoping to reload before I do. And sadly enough, he does reload before I do, and then he moves into a better position. And that is when I get reminded that artillery also still exists in this game. We move forward to actually be in less RT cover. But RT's reloading anyway, and we shoot a Centurion. We go up against the big old behemoth that is the Jaegeru. We wiggle and he bounces. And I found myself in quite a strong position now actually. RT will not have an easy shot on me here. No tank is an easy shot on me except for the Jaegeru. And the Jaegeru has proven that he doesn't really know how to pen my tank. The Samoa I am not afraid for. I'm just focusing on that scary, big ol' fat German sausage flinging scary tank of a beast. So I'm gonna kill him. There's nothing that can stop me from killing him except for a Type 5 heavy. And even he won't stop me from killing him. But now I'm gonna have to deal with a Type 5 heavy, who without really aiming again just has to make sure that he hits me and does 450 damage. He tries to cross And wait, was it a Type 4 that I shot at earlier? Even better, because I was hoping the 705 would make a mistake, but I get flanked by a Type 4 heavy. I've only took high explosive damage this game.
We will make the heathens, we will make the heathens. What is the riches of the land?
Buy the Mongol! Hey, buy the Mongol!
Wienersdorf! At least that was the name of this map while it was still in development. Now it's more than just known as Himmelsdorf, it's also known as Himmelsdorf. I don't know where I was going with that, but all I know is this map is not great for playing a tank without a turret. And I'm very lucky that FE is firing AP. I could have known beforehand that he was going to fire high explosive, but I just risked it and I won the biscuit. We kill the E100 that was there trying to keep his turret angled, but I'm firing premium because I don't care. The I7 puts a shot into like the side of my cupola, and the E4 is firing high explosive. The A4 will fire more high explosive throughout this entire game. And the reason why I keep on showing this part is because that I7 is just floating on top of some rock, and I shoot and I don't pen his tracks. I don't even track him because it's heat. And so instead I move forward and I lose all of my health. The E4 sets me on fire, the Centurion action time shoots my side, but I kill the E4. And now I'm such low health that I don't really want to continue anymore. At least we find a Batchat trying to escape towards our side of the map, and he dies, and that's it.
Because I don't create the fear.
I am the fear.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new map. I can't sing, but this is Sand River. I quit after that Himmelsdorf game. I had enough. I just needed to take some time away from the V4 because I just wasn't actually gaining anything in the mark. I wasn't really playing well. I was just getting more and more annoyed with myself. And we find ourselves, like I said, here on Sand River, where I try again on a new day, the next day. And we shoot a Scorpion, we shoot a Batchat, we shot an Oho. And from that point on, I just had to run away because the enemy was just bullying their way through the middle. A good trade with the E75 means that we have some damage, but this is the part where my armor just seems to kind of quit and my RNG seems to stop working. Because the side of that E75 probably should have been a pen, but it didn't. I'm being shot from left, right, and center. I want to ram the Scorpion, and I just get tracked before I can ram him. So I do minimal damage, and I do not get to reload in time to shoot him before I die.
All I ever use is the tip. Any deeper and fragile stuff might get damaged.
Personally, I feel that this video should probably come to an end right now. We're already 23.5 minutes in, but it's just not over, because this time I will really try and get that damn little star on my barrel. First we shoot a Batchat, and then a whole lot of nothing happens, and then everyone on the enemy team kind of just disappears. Which means that we can finally move into the middle and shoot their people going north. There's a Batchat over there. We shut down the Batchat. We move up again and shoot the Jaegeru. Not once, but I feel that we can get a second chance really soon. That is because the Jaegeru isn't looking at me, and I just have really an open field that I can have so many opportunities in to move left, to move right, to move back, to move forwards, to do anything I want, and we shoot this Jaegeru for a second time. We move forwards towards the 50B, and I'm thinking maybe I can kill the 50B and move around and kill the AMX M454 or maybe the I7. And I just still, I wasn't really thinking anything at this point except for 50B. Then I saw the 13105 moving towards my artillery, so we shoot the 50B on the move, and that's where my game ends because I'm too slow.
Every time I look in your eyes, every day I'm watching you die. All the thoughts I see in you without.
Who's a sexy boy? I'm a sexy boy.
Did you know that Niagara Falls completely froze over in the year 1911? Did you know that that has nothing to do with this video? It's just a fact that I came across while editing this video. And here on Fjords, I'm not going to have a good time. Right now it seems like I'm going to have a good time because people just keep popping up in front of me and I can just keep shooting them. And I'm thinking this could be a fantastic game. There's 3 people there. They're all in a bit of a shit pickle. Even a 1390 or a 13105. 13105 just pops up and sits there for me to shoot at him. And I am confident. I am too confident. I'm going to make a terrible mistake, which worked out in the last video. I'm going to move up here and see what I can spot for my people to shoot at. But that Skoda T50 is still alive, and he puts not 1, but 2 shots into me before I can safely... 3 shots into me before I can safely pull back. And before I can think, oh, I survived this, the STRV actually kills me.
Okay, we're fine. Fine, I was sweating like a pedo there. Jesus Christ.
Another day, another map that I hate. Prokhorovka! Where we literally just sit in the back of the map with our teammates, because I don't really want to move up. In fact, I moved up, I saw an E100, and I pulled back. And then I pulled back to the red line. And here I'm thinking, nothing's happening. The game is literally just moving away from me. If I don't do anything, I will not get this mark or even go up in the mark. Then I realize I'm in a V4. I have amazing view range, I have fantastic armor, I have a great gun. What is stopping me from doing this? Because there's no artillery. As long as I keep my fat frontal tits towards the enemy, there's not a lot they can do. Now, however, I do get spotted. I'm thinking, what could have spotted me? The 13105? The 430U? The 50B maybe? The Batchat possibly? I don't know. So I'm just using this E100 as armor. And I spot an E4. And I'm thinking, that E4 was probably the one that actually spotted me. Remember, for a mark, you don't just need to do damage. If you do spotting or tracking, that will help. So, I don't mind that I did no damage to that E4. I do, however, mind that I did shoot the E4 and it didn't kill him. It's okay, though, because a tortoise popped up right where I shot that E4. Which means that I've probably done my second now hit of damage on that tortoise. And I'm spotting these guys. Remember, look at my spotting damage. I am the Scout V4 at the moment. So I'm thinking, now that they've died, I am probably unspotted. Unless it's the Batchet or the 13105. And it's actually the 13105, or sorry, 1390 that was spotting me this entire time. I put a shot into him, I get spotting on him, and I'm thinking either he will put all the shots into me, which he will anyway, but I just don't know where the rest of the team is. The 50B could have shots on me, maybe the Panzer 4, the Waffenträger Panzer 4, so I used the E100 as cover so that 3090 is allowed to unload on me and then he dies, because afterwards, what was he going to do anyway? I'm slowing down so the STRV can catch up with me, and I'm hoping that maybe the driver of the Skoda will fall with his face on his keyboard, accidentally hitting W or R, so he also starts moving forwards. And there it is. I think he fell asleep with his face slamming onto the keyboard, and he's finally starting to move. I still don't know where this Waffenträger Panzer 4 is though, and I'm just gonna take the risk, because if I don't shoot this AMX 50B, I'm not going to go up in my mark. That will just be a 50B that gets to sit there. If I move forwards towards possibly where the Waffenträger is on the one line, that 50B will poke up and shoot me in the butt multiple times. So I feel that there's a better chance of me shooting the 50B and getting some spotting than me getting killed by the 50B looking for the Waffenträger, who, well, arguably the bigger chance that he's there is possibly there. And now the only place the Waffenträger can be is K1. Because look at where my teammates are. He's not sitting anywhere near the older train tracks. So here I'm thinking, could I have reloaded the high explosive shell? Probably not, with how fast everyone is closing in. I'd rather just do an average 650 and get a bit of spotting than doing no damage and possibly getting a bit of spotting. We find the Waffenträger, we kill him, and that was Prokhorovka, and I still hate Prokhorovka. And that was the last time I have ever played my V4. After this it was nerfed and I wasn't going to get the third mark anyway.
If you do not wish to have your valuables stolen, I suggest destroying them or discarding them right now. You can also try hiding your valuables in your anus.